We will get our full-blown acceleration here. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2021 Ram 1500 Warlock with the off-road package. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Dodge Ram here in Sandy for giving me some time with the truck. Check out the inventory and link below. Let's get into the video. So under the hood we have a naturally aspirated 3.6 liter V6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy 16 around town and then 23 on the highway, with power outputs being 305 horsepower and then 269 pound-feet of torque. So let's go over the front end of the Warlock. First off, we've got the old style grille with the Rebel that they kind of stole for the Warlock package. And then you also have the headlights, so the projector bulbs with the LED light just down below. And then also the Rebel front bumper as well. That has all been kind of taken from the Rebel, thrown on the Warlock, which, I mean, overall definitely gives it a really cool look. Now I've got this all-terrain package that gives us 265mm tires wrapped around 17-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear. You can see first off you've got those off-road style wheels, look absolutely fantastic, and then you can see you've got these aggressive all-terrain tires. So this is kind of like a baby Rebel in a sense, I guess. And there's a quick look at the suspension. Notice we've got the fender flares here on the side. Got our Ram 1500 Classic badge. This one does have these smaller mirrors. Also, it is a quad cab, and then here's a quick look at the rear setup, and then you guys can see the coil suspension there in the back as well. And if you guys are wondering, with the quad cab you do get the longer bed. So you've got the quad cab in the front, and then you've got the longer bed there in the back. And when I say longer bed, this one has the 6'4" bed with a payload capacity of 1,608 pounds. And then popping here into the bed, you can see this one doesn't really have much going on. It's a bed. You can use it for truck stuff, and well, see ya. Now going over things here in the rear, we've got the old school LED lights, again pretty much stolen from the Rebel, as well as the bumper, also taken from the previous generation Rebel, with the parking sensors there on the bottom. And then you've got the exhaust tip out the side because this one does have the V6, and that's all for the back. Now here's the door panel in the rear. You can see that things are pretty basic, and then we've got these cloth seats that are taken from the Bighorn actually. So we've got a bunch of different pieces mixed together here with the Warlock. Then you can see the space underneath the seat, and then right there. And then of course I know you guys want me to get in so you can see what the quad cab is like. So legroom, a little bit on the cramped side. Headroom's great though, I actually fit back here, so that's good. And let's head to the front. Now here's the door panel in the front, so notice that we actually get some padding right here with some nice trim just up above. All of our window controls, the mirror adjustments, and then we've got the front seats, again stolen from the Bighorn. The seats are manually adjustable. There's kind of like your pedal layout. And then you've got the light controls just up above. The steering wheel is manually adjustable, and there's one more look before we pop in. Here is the steering wheel with the Warlock. Again, pretty basic with the trim. You do have the gear plus and minus right there, and then notice we've got our cruise control, voice command controls for the center stack. No radio controls in the back. Got your windshield wiper / turn signal stock, and that's all for the steering wheel. Now here is the gauge cluster. Notice we've got analog gauges all around, and then you have that screen there in the center which shows you different bits of information on the truck. Nothing too crazy, but I mean, still looks pretty good to this day, and ouch, 91 degrees outside. Now coming to the center, you've got the infotainment system, which first off, we've got the backup camera. It does have trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, which is a nice touch. As for the rest of the infotainment system, response time is actually really good with the screen. And then notice we actually do get dual zone climate controls, which, I mean, it's pretty nice for a more basic truck. But I mean, other than that, relatively easy to use, and I mean, that's all. Got the dial shifter. Now this is the old school shifter, so it's kind of like notchier is the best way to describe it compared to the new one. And then down here we've got a driveline select. So you've got your 4-wheel lock, 4-wheel low, 2-wheel drive, and then your true neutral if you want to tow the truck. And then you've got 12 volt there, got some extra storage there, and then the climate controls and radio controls right here. Stability control, your tow haul mode, and then the parking sensors to turn them off for the rear, and then the random little storage thing right there. Don't know what that's all about. And then we've got the center console / seat thing here with some USBs in it, coin holders, cup holders. You've got some more stuff right here, and this doesn't pull up. It's just seat cushioning. If you get like a Bighorn package, they pull up right there. And then we've got the glove box. Pretty neat. You can see the dash, pretty normal, pretty basic. And then here at the top, finishing things off, notice that we have a blank space right here because we have a fixed rear window. You can't open it or anything like that, but we do have lights here at the top. And then you've got the mirror dimmer. Pretty cool. Now here's our window sticker for this Ram 1500 Warlock. Feel free to freeze the frame if you want to read all the individual options. First off, the standard equipment. As you can see, comes with quite a bit as standard equipment. Now there are a few different options. So first off, notice we have the Warlock package, which actually gives you the raised ride height, which is pretty cool. This has the electronics package, so it actually comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. That's pretty cool. And then there's that all-terrain package, which is definitely worth it. 195 bucks, but you get obviously the off-road tires and wheels, and then on top of that you get the floor mats for 195 bucks. Complete bargain. Get it. $44,015 is the total MSRP. Let's take her out and see how she drives. So let's talk about visibility before we set off here on the Warlock. There's your visibility of the hood, the mirrors, the rear. Let's set off. So we are setting off here in this V6 Warlock with this new all-terrain package, and I'm actually pretty excited about this truck because it kind of decreases the price range that you have to, well, the price that you have to spend to get an off-road package with Ram, which I don't know, you guys know I'm all about that. So let's talk about how this drives. From a ride quality perspective, it's smooth. It's not as smooth as the new DT body style. And if you guys have watched my other reviews on this older body style, then you know that. However, it's still smooth for a pickup truck, and it does great from a daily driver perspective with the ride quality. And the noise insulation isn't as good as the new truck, but it's still really solid. Aside from that, with the steering, it's not as light, I guess, or as direct as the new steering rack, but it still does a pretty good job. The new steering rack's just super direct, and then it's also just a touch bit lighter with the inputs as well. And then in terms of these tires with the noise, it doesn't sound any louder than a regular Warlock, so you're not losing anything by going for these tires, but I think it might ride a little bit smoother because, again, you've got a little bit more sidewall and a little bit less wheel to deal with. And this V6 is actually not bad whatsoever. It's got a good amount of torque. Yeah, it gets up at a decent pace. We'll get a full-blown acceleration up here, but this V6 is not that bad. I mean, 305 horsepower, it's no slouch. I know it's a truck, but still does a pretty dang good job. So we will get our full-blown acceleration here. Yeah, this engine's really good actually. So this has 355 gears in the rear end, and I mean, it's got decent get up and go. It's really not that bad. It's not as peppy as the Hemi, but it does a really good job. And that'll get me to some of the things up here with this all-terrain package with the Warlock. Like I said, get it. Get this package, definitely worth it. I mean, it's a complete bargain. The tires alone are worth more than the $195 asking price for this package. But definitely makes the Warlock look nicer in my opinion. Like the 20s look good on this truck, but you guys know I'm all about extra tire and, you know, less wheel. And so yeah, this definitely looks a lot better with the 17s compared to the 20s that you normally get. So I definitely think that is a huge plus. And then aside from the appearances, obviously it adds some capability. This will do better in the snow. This will obviously do better off-road because you'll get better traction and all of that fun stuff. And so yeah, I think it's definitely worth, and also the floor mats. I mean, come on, there's so much stuff that comes with this package. So I definitely think that it's worth it from an aesthetic perspective, but then also from a practicality perspective. As for the V6, here's what I have to say is if you're not going to be doing any towing with the truck, which I know some people might be saying, why would you get a truck if you're not going to tow with it? Quite a lot of people do that nowadays. Gets a little bit better fuel economy than the Hemi. Get up and go is actually pretty decent as well. And obviously the cost of entry is lower. And so yeah, the V6 really isn't that bad of an engine. It's actually still a pretty good powertrain overall. And so if you want a less expensive Rebel, basically, you don't get the shocks, but you get tires that are pretty good and you get pretty cool looks as well. you got to check out this new off-road package. I think it's definitely worth a look. And, you know, they usually lease out pretty well from past experience. Now let's get some things up for our video on this Ram 1500 Warlock with that all-terrain package. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Dodge Ram here in Sandy for giving me some time with the Warlock. Check out the inventory link below. I'll see all of you in the next video.